Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Tansha,
Good morning, I'm Dr. Shifali Garg.
and today we'll be talking about the myths and tips that is when you're transitioning from BDS to MDS.
Hello, Akansha, how are you?
How are you? I'm good.
I'm good. So, where have you done your BDS, MDS, and in
So,
you
I've
do it?
done my BDS from Manipal College of Dental Sciences, Mangalore campus, and currently I'm an endodontics resident at SGT University.
That's great.
And what about you, ma?
I've done my BDS from Punjab University, Chandigarh, and I've done my MDS from Bhoja Dental College in conservative dentistry and endo. So, that is the common thing we have, where we're both in endo.
So excited for this podcast today. So, our topic for today is myths and tips as you transition from BDS to MDS. So, the first question is transitioning from BDS to MDS. According to me, I really feel that the first change that I genuinely felt was the whole clinical quota, like the amount of clinical work that you get overburdened with, because it is not easy to cope up from that. Yeah, exactly. Because we're just accustomed, even during your internship, maybe like barely like at least 3 or 4 patients per day. But like suddenly that transition happens, and then you're supposed to be doing and acing every clinical work that you're doing, and almost with that like 10 patients or something.
Yeah.
So that was something that I felt. What about you, ma'am?
Yeah, it does happen that in internship we're not very accustomed to multitasking, but in PG we have to do a lot of things, not just patients, preclinical, seminars, JCs, case presentations, and then there's so much staff to handle, and there is department, there are co-PGs, there are juniors, seniors. So it's a very big dynamic which shifts from BDS to MDS.
But I feel like first year is like that once year that you have to adjust a lot. But
Yeah.
second and third year, it really
It gets better. Yeah, you get accustomed to the schedule. You get your vibe, whom to vibe with, whom to not, where to invest, where to not, what procedures to do, how to go about it. You get the hang of it.
Yes. Okay. So our next question is 3 things as a BDS graduate that you should be doing to ease this transition. So according to me, I genuinely feel that if you're just getting accustomed and taking it one day at a time, like that really helps.
Yeah.
I don't want to rush things. I really want to learn it, taking it one at a time. Also because like growth is it's different for everyone.
And there are 3 years. It is no rush.
Yeah, you don't need to rush that. And what is really helping me is understanding my surroundings well, observing. That is the thing. I feel like observing really helps more than just trying to be the best.
Keeping the eyes, ear, everything open, and is just absorbing and observing everything which you're being put forward.
That's true. Okay, the next question is aspirations of a BDS graduate while they start MDS. So like aspiration wise, I genuinely feel that you should be firstly be ready to accept change in general because it's not easy.
Yeah.
And secondly, you should have your goals ready. If you want to see yourself just refining your clinical skill set a lot, then you have to work for it from day one. It's not like it's like one fine day I'll just start a patient, it'll just happen.
कल करेंगे परसों करेंगे
वो तो होता नहीं है. Preclinical say you have to make sure that right from day one you're investing into the right things. You are actually making sure that मेरी learning at least पूरी हो रही है वहाँ से. मैम आपके कहना चाहें?
Yeah, I'll also add on to this that when we move from BDS to MDS, it's not like we follow a textbook.
Yeah.
There are no textbooks until unless there are exams. So everyone should have a checklist where you can go through the book,
Right.
read what procedures are there, and write it in your list so that after 6 months, when you review that list, some things have been done.
True.
That keeps you in check and also gives you motivation. And you can always add on to it. You can add basic things like LA technique, rubber dam application, and big things like deep margin elevation, biomimetic, everything. Just put it down.
Yeah. So organization really helps there. Yeah. Okay. Next question. Do the aspirations stay same till the end of PG? मांगे तो आप ही बता सकते हो.
I don't think so. When we come into PG, it's like we think बहुत patient करने हैं, and then suddenly बहुत patient मिल जाते हैं.
Yeah.
But then you're like, नहीं इतने भी नहीं करने थे. That shift happens. But then you gotta remind yourself that these patients are so that your skill set increases.
Yeah.
And ऐसा नहीं है we don't know how to restore teeth.
Yeah.
A BDS, after BDS also we can do that. But it is how to do that seamlessly without letting the patient know कि हाँ हमारे पे कोई काम हो रहा है. So if you can do that seamlessly, confidently, staying at peace, and not being insane कि ये इधर है ये उधर है, that is what PG teaches say. So have a workflow.
That is true, Rohan. And ma'am, how to make the full use of time in PG?
Okay. So I think that one must not focus on just one thing. Like अगर अभी बोला है कि pre-clinical करो तो सिर्फ pre-clinical करो. No. You should look ahead of time. Like if there's a conference coming up, start preparing for that also. Create your topic, create your presentations, create your poster, do some short study, plan for the conferences ahead. Keep looking if there is an international conference happening. It's very helpful. I attended a symposium in Bangkok and that was very helpful. It had professors from US, the University of Pennsylvania, and that was very good. So stay open to all the opportunities and not just in college. College teaches you basic skills, but also interact with other departments. Endo has a good relation with prostho, ortho, perio. Include those PGs and do multidisciplinary cases. So that ways you can learn a lot by just being in endo.
And documentation has also taken so much of that. Like documentation has become like a prime thing for so many people nowadays, and not just PGs, like EQGs are doing that. It is like helping people to just like uplift their work also, like understand the mistakes that they did back then.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah. And that also makes you look upon the work you've done and how far you've come. If after 3 years I saw my case album, I was like, oh, I really did do some work.
Yeah.
It wasn't just nothing. It was good, substantial amount of work. So you can always use those cases again to convince your patients after the postgraduate share.
Thank you so much for
You were nice talking to you. Also, thanks.
same here, ma'am. Thank you so much.